preparing a couple of videos coming up, and I have had these fragrances, most of them, for a while, just sitting there, and I'm getting ready to feature them in a few videos, so we're going to do a fragrance haul unboxing. You know the deal. I have seven fragrances here, and we'll just start off with the top one here. This is from the house of Mont Blanc. We have Explorer. Now, we got ourselves a tester here, my favorite, and here she is. So, got this for a video. I need another Aventus clone, like I need another hole in my head, but I need it like I need leprosy. But I'm going to make another clone imposter. Can I spot the real fragrance with Aventus? And I just knew I could not make an Aventus clone video without Explorer. I just couldn't do it. People would be livid. And also I'm collecting, I don't know why, don't ask me because I don't know, but collecting the Mont Blancs. I have a desire to collect Mont Blanc, I don't know why. So I have Explorer Blue that will be in an unboxing soon as well, but I have Platinum, which I really enjoy. Let's stop talking, just spray here. This is uno, dos, and four. Oh my gosh. 5, 6. Wow, great atomizer. Great atomizer. This fragrance was made, I can't remember what the guy's first name is, like Peugeot, Olivier Peugeot, I want to say. God dang, that's good. Olivier Peugeot, I feel like that's right. I think he was the same guy that made Herod and a couple big fragrances. Anyways, he passed away, I think it was last year, and it's very sad. He was a young guy, but that's one of his legacies here is exploring. Right off the bat, you're getting a huge blast. That is a sweeter version of Aventus. I don't think Aventus and this are going to be carbon copies on the top notes. I think you're going to have to wait a little bit and get down to the dry down before they are really indistinguishable. But just right off the bat, you have a large blast of citrus. I can't tell if that's pineapple, kind of just smells like citrus. A lot of people have subbed out lemon for the pineapple on Aventus clones. And you just have sort of a birchy, smoky base that I'm sure will rear its head as it sits. As of right now, it's just a super citrus bomb. So, Mont Blanc Explorer. This is another one that I got for a video. This one will probably be out this week, I think, this video. Not, I'll have to record it on another day because my nose is going to be trash by the end of my recording today. This is a Kismet Magic, and this is supposed to be one of the best angel share clones. And I'm going to feature this one on a angel share imposter video. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Right now, I'm going to tell you something that you might not be ready to hear. Because I was not ready to hear it either, or think it apparently. Lattafa's great clone. Oh, it's great. Offnon is okay, but Maison Alhambra is one of the most Maison Alhambra has been exceptional, and it's also one of the cheapest. I believe Off and On might own it. I was looking for something that would indicate that, but I can't really tell. Anyways, you can obviously tell right from the box. This box is almost identical to the Killian box you get with Angel Share, and voila. You have a very similar Angel Share-esque. Gosh darn, that was unpleasant. It sounded like I was strangling a baby mouse. You even have an exact like clone of the logo for Angel Share. But Maison Alhambra's Tom Ford series is incredible. It's incredible. And I have another Maison Alhambra here as well that I'm really excited about. But I don't know why. I just thought that Off and On owned it. I'm not sure where I got that from, but Kismet Magic, supposedly dollars to donuts, one of the best Angel Share clones. Let's try it out. And oh, that was nice. I think we'll only do one. Let's see. Okay, so the opener is nothing like Angel Share. It's much sweeter. Angel Share's top note is like you just got punched in the face by a Scotch bottle. I mean, it's so in your face, it's not even funny. Wow, okay. It took a second, but it's definitely transforming. Boozy butterscotch vibe. Kismet Magic. I think it has a little bit more of that sort of praline kind of gourmand sweetness, whereas Angel Share, I think, has a little bit more spiciness. It would be interesting to see that dry all the way down. But you were talking about a fragrance that is, I want to say, less than $20. So I'll tell you at the end if I recommend it. Let's keep going. We have almost all clones here. It's crazy. This is from the House of Maison Alhambra as well. And this is Hercules. And this is a clone of Herod. By Parfums de Marly. Now, I think you'll all appreciate this. A lot of times I get clones to see if they can beat the original, and oftentimes they're good enough to where I actually won't buy the original if I'm not like a huge fan of it. This though, I'm buying this for a very specific reason, and that reason is I cannot find Herod right now. So I'm taking some time and building up my Parfums de Marly collection, and I cannot find Herod for a good deal. So I said, well, first off, let me just buy this and see if I even like the profile, and then go from there. Hercules. I thought this was a black bottle. It is not. It's a super reflective bronze gray, space gray kind of thing. Looks nothing like the Parfums de Marly, but I don't know if that's really what it was going for. I doubt Zamaya. Their replicas look like replicas. They look like they try to clone the whole thing. You can see, like, clearly Alhambra was trying to go for angel share here, and clearly on their Tom Ford lines, they're trying to go the exact same look all around. This is very different from Herod. Let's spray and see. 1, 2, 3. Good atomizer. This is eau de parfum. For external use only, everybody. Don't be using this to freshen your breath. Probably be the last time you'd ever do that. Huge opening blast of tobacco. Okay. Not on the forefront, not as much on the forefront. I'm so used to tobacco fragrances blasting you right off the top, but tobacco is one of those fragrances as well that comes out as it sits like coffee. And tobacco is also one of those things that totally changes profiles on skin. I can put tobacco on clothes and fabric all day, and it does not transform, it doesn't do anything. Put it on skin, it sings. All I'm really smelling is tobacco, but it's not a heavy hitter. It's sweet tobacco, sweetness. It's not enough for me to even really be able to pick out the individual notes, to be honest with you. Interested to see if that'll come out more. I think I've also been testing too many fragrances lately. I think my nose is going blind. So, fun fact for you out there, you can get blind to fragrances, full stop, if you are constantly smelling them. And for the last almost every day, I wear like 4 or 5 fragrances. I'd be like hand, wrist on tests. So I want to see what lasts the longest, projects the best, so I can make these videos. I think I might just be going a little nose blind. How do you fix that? Just stop wearing fragrances for a little while. Just super tobacco heavy, which I knew that, but it's not giving me anything other than that. Tobacco, maybe some woodsiness, muskiness. I can't get past the tobacco, that's all I smell. Interesting. Well, let's go to another Parfums de Marly clone. And this is Haramain Detour Noir Intense. I've had these for a while and trying to build out and complete my Detour Noir collection. Now this is supposed to be a clone of Pegasus Exclusive. I have never smelled Pegasus Exclusive before. I do, however, know from owning Leighton and owning Leighton Exclusive that the original Detour Noir and the Detour Noir Exclusive are insanely close on the dry down, not on the top, but on the dry down. So I do also know that I get nose blind to some Parfums de Marly fragrances, namely Leighton. I don't think I'm going to get nose blind to Pegasus though. Okay, maybe one day. There we go. Boom. I love these bottles, man. They're not easy to hold, but they're look like someone just twerking, right? I don't know. That's the only thing I can come up with. So, Haramain. This is the Intense Detour Noir, the best. Still the original, I think. But I have two more here, and I'm looking to change my mind if the opportunity presents. So let's go. 1, 2. Gosh darn, man, these atomizers. Put that back on there. No. Okay. That actually resembles Pegasus a lot more than I thought it would. Latent and latent exclusive to me do not resemble each other. So I just assumed it was the same thing with Pegasus exclusive. It's a sweeter version of Pegasus. Pegasus is a aromatic oriental type fragrance with lots of floral notes, lots of spice. Frag heads don't necessarily like it. I've heard it called, or likened it to, like rusted metal. This is like a sweeter version. It's like a sweeter, syrupy version of Pegasus. It's still got that same oriental spice and the aromatic. That doesn't go away. But it has some additional sweet notes. That's kind of what they did with Latent Exclusive as well. So Latent had a lot of notes too. But it was much more mentholated in your face. Surface level didn't change a whole heck of a lot. This does. Latent Exclusive added those Bichon spicy notes, and that's what this did too. It added a lot of that more rich, complex vibe to it. And again, I mean, these are $20 fragrances, so that's actually really good. That's really good. As always, we're gonna let all these dry down, and then once they dry down, we'll come back. We'll sample them all once they're in the dry down. Let's just keep going. This is Detour Echo. And this is a clone of Haramain by Parfums de Marly. And I'm really excited about this one because I have heard that Haramain is some people's favorite. And I've never smelled it before. Keep building up my Parfums de Marly collection. Parfums de Marly seems like it's kind of hit or miss. A lot of people like the profiles, don't like the performance. The same guy that made Altair also made it wasn't Carlisle, it was Percival, and a couple of those fragrances just don't really stand out that much. And when you're asking for $200+ for a fragrance, you want a fragrance that's going to stand out. So here's Detour Echo. And here we have a green bottle. That's Haramain, similar to Haramain. Man, they did again. So clearly the Haramain, big fans of Parfums de Marly. Let's see what Haramain smells like. Let's see what Detour Noir, Detour Echo. 1, 2, 3. Gosh darn, man. The atomizer gives you so much. I literally have to sift it down. Okay, this by far is the most impressive fragrance so far. Really odd, complex, fruity fougere fragrance. Oh wow, and it's changing very quickly. So it's fruity, but it's also fougere, it's green. It has really strange fruity notes. Odd, like Starburst, is what it smells like to me. You know, it's like taffy, like a more of a dulled version, not sugary sweet like a pixie stick. It's just like a dull sweetness, like a Starburst. With as fast as that is moving though and changing, that's not gonna be like that for much longer. That's just the top notes. Okay, two more. Two moss more. Okay, next. We have from the House of Bentley for Men. Absolute. Now, Bentley just, to me, knocked it out of the park with their first Bentley for Men. And I thought it was great. Loved it. It was rich, it was complex, it was boozy. Someone said on one of my videos that it was over $100 when it first came out. I wouldn't pay that much for it, but it was nice. It was winter, fall, sort of a leather base. Kind of reminded me of a similar vibe as like Stronger With You or even Comra. Like, not saying that they smell similar, just a similar vibe. So I'm interested to see what this is like. Supposedly this is a clone-ish of Gucci Pour Homme, the original Gucci Pour Homme. Look at that beautiful black bottle. Now, I say this in my videos and I'll say it again here. Everyone wants to say that something is a cologne when you're talking about a cheaper fragrance. But here's the truth of the matter. Everything is a clone of something. You can only invent the wheel once. You can only make fire once. Anything after that is at least going to take in part and copy those original vibes. So, are they trying to? Was Pierre, or whatever I said, his name was Perot, trying to copy Aventus with Explorer? I don't know. Maison Alhambra was clearly trying to copy and do clones, but was the person that made this trying to copy Gucci Pour Homme, or did they just create something similar? So I love these Bentley bottles, man. Love them. So let's go ahead and see what Bentley Absolute smells like. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more. Those Detour Noir bottles. The amount of fragrance that these atomizers give out is crazy. So I don't want to give the rest of these guys a disservice. Wow. That's a weird one. Sort of a licorice. Dark and rich and complex, spicy. Spicy. Woody. Very, very woodsy with this one. That's number one by far is the woodiness that you get from this guy. pink pepper in the top, and I can always tell because I hate pink pepper. But definitely the amount of wood that is in the base and the mid overtakes this whole thing. Oh my god, like it takes over this entire thing. Moss, musk, wood. That's it. Musk, moss, wood. That is a masculine fragrance. I know as it dries down, it's probably going to get even more woodsy, more masculine. Okay. This last one from the house of Lalique. This is Encre Noir à l'extrême. I can already smell it. It's a good sign. That is a good sign. Big bottle. Can't wait to see what this this bottle looks like. Big box. It reminds me of those. It reminds me of those newer. Banana Republic fragrances that you get. Black Walnut, Cordovan Vintage, which are actually really good fragrances. It's like, this bottle is so unlike most other fragrances. I have a hard time putting it on display because I'm like, nothing looks like this. It doesn't fit in. So, this is the intense version of this fragrance. Got actually a wooden cap on it. Wow. That's an actual wooden cap. Okay. So, Lalique is one of these fragrances that, fragrance houses, I would say, that is very unique. And most times, even when they, wink, cloning a particular fragrance, they add their own twist, like white and black. It's kind of like latent, but it made it sweeter, and it's kind of a little bit different as well. So you're getting in each house, you're getting something that is very similar to very high quality, expensive fragrance houses, and I just think you're getting a whole lot of bargain with Lalique. So I'm interested to try Encre Noir. Actually just did a video, the Fragrantica Awards, where one of the subjects was like best masculine fragrance. I've had a couple of really masculine fragrances here I could have used. Okay, let's try it. The good news, none of these have had like a big alcohol burn at the top. Oh. That's awful. What is that? There's no fruitiness, there's no citrus off of it. A lot of times when I smell a fragrance and it's just awful to me, it's usually only like one note. So I'm trying to figure out what that one note is that I'm really not liking here. My gosh, what is it? I bet you anything it's some sort of freaking vetiver. I can't stand vetiver. There's a lot of fragrances out there that have vetiver in it that I love, and I'm like, how did y'all hide this? Like, and you're feeding your children trying to give them like carrots or something. Like, how do we like mix them in cupcakes and whatnot? I'm like, how do y'all hide the vetiver from me? I'm not gonna lie. Oh no, this does smell like something that It's just crazy, crazy incense. It's musky, it's mossy, it's woodsy, it's... Oh, it smells like an earwax kind of vibe going on, just like waxy. And trying to think about a fragrance. This reminds me of almost like bottom of the Santal 33, because I know this, but it's not necessarily a sandalwood vibe. It's just indiscriminate, musky, mossy, woodsy type. Sorry, I'm having a moment. No, I'm gonna double down and say that does give off Santal vibes, Lalabo Santal vibes. I'm gonna let that sit, partially to have mercy on my soul, but second, to see what it becomes. I don't think it's a bad fragrance. Nothing in it, I'm just like, that's an awful fragrance. It's not that. It's that there's a fragrance, there's a note in there that is so repulsive to me. To me, personally. Not objectively, not like, oh, this fragrance sucks. Like, to me, there's something in there I cannot stand. Let's go back. We'll see what it's like on the dry down. Let's go back to Explorer. Oh, Mont Blanc Explorer. Let's see if it's gotten any more vintage-y. Okay. The short answer is yes. The dry down is similar, but it's different. It's not as intense as some of these other Aventus clones, but neither is Aventus. The clones are often more intense than Aventus. This is going to be a tough one to have my can you spot Aventus. That's going to be a tough one because that really does smell like Aventus. Wow. 9 out of 10. I see there's a lot of people out there that are like, I don't need Aventus. I have Explorer. And I'm like, what? Because to me, Aventus beats all the clones that I've tried. If you're going for pure Aventus. But this right here makes me understand why people are like, nah, I don't need Aventus, I have Explorer. It really does have that Aventus type vibe to it. I'm interested to see what the performance is, but I think that's how I'm gonna know that something is not Aventus, because it's too powerful, too strong. Aventus is not the power giant that like Club de Nuit is. That one though, I think I might have some problems with. Let's see if I can say the same thing about Kismet Magic. Our clone of Angel Share. Yeah. I still think it's a sweeter version. Angel Share has something in it that when you smell it, it's like, oh, you're wearing Angel Share. That must be very pleasant and sweet. What is that? Like that's the effect Angel Share has. Like, it's spicy and it assaults you whenever you smell it. It has such a power to it. This doesn't have that. It's a little bit sweeter than Angel Share. I think I'll be able to figure that one out, but I look forward to that. It's a great fragrance though. I can see why people liked it and said that it was close. I give it an 8 out of 10. Hercules. This really is, I think, gonna have to be a fragrance that I put on skin. Tobacco. It just does not sing on paper. Now I'm getting more though, at least. I'm getting more than just the tobacco. It's just not being a huge projector for me right now. Olivier Péchot. So it's the same guy I was just talking about, the same guy. I mean, it's woody, it's spicy, you got the tobacco in there. You got some, I think, vanilla in the base, but you're getting a lot of just woodiness. I think you're supposed to have cinnamon on the top note too, which I didn't get. I really think this fragrance is going to have to, macerate for a little bit. Let's see if I can find its batch date. So this is a couple years old, a couple weeks old. So I think it'll, well, I know it'll get better and better, but like I'm not getting the cinnamon. I'm not getting a couple of these top notes that I should be getting, so I have to give it a 7 out of 10, but I do feel like it'll change. It'll change. Detour Noir. Intense. I think this is the one that I said was in the lead, right? Let's see. No, I said Haltane with the Detour Echo one. Pegasus is very spicy, aromatic. Definitely does give off that rusted spoon thing. This doesn't. This is... The exclusive definitely much more... It's the first time I've smelled the exclusive. It's definitely much more sweeter, much more complex, more notes, more presence, more maturity. Parfums de Marly is interesting though, man. They're just like, no. It's the same fragrance. We just spruced it up. It's like, no, you didn't. The exclusive is so different, man. The exclusives are so different. So, that's when I first thought. I was like, first thing I thought was like, oh, this is like the intense version. No. It is not the intense version. It's a whole different thing. Whole different ball of wax. Okay. But the Hercules one I think is gonna get better. I will try that one, the Detour Noir Intense. That's a 7 out of 10. Detour Echo. Okay, that's actually really good. That's actually really pleasant. There's definitely a lot of fruity notes going on in there. Oh, but there's also this spice. What is that spice? Sage. Praline. I think this is supposed to have oud in it too. I'm not getting the oud, which I guess is a good thing. Most people hate that. But oud does have a bit of a sweetness. Maybe I am picking it up. It's just I'm getting the sweetness instead of the Acre wood itself. That's really good. I see myself wearing that for sure. Let's go 8 out of 10. It doesn't knock my socks off, which is good because I'm not wearing any, but Bentley Formid Absolute. I like how some of these fragrances are called Absolute. Other fragrances are called Absolute. Okay. What did that do in that dry down? I am speechless. What did that do? That came to life. That came to life. This is a $25 fragrance. That amber came out. That amber came out, yo. I can smell the oud in this one. Moss. That gross pink pepper is gone. That cedar and oud is here. Amber, moss. That. What is that? That is good right there. That is good. Where was that hiding? This is it, y'all. When I do videos, I think the first few I didn't do this, but when I did videos, spray it. Spray on the testers. I never waited for the dry down. So I'll finish the video sometime. And I come back. And I'd smell the strips as I was clearing everything away. It was a totally different fragrance. Some fragrances, they change so much that waiting for them to dry down is so important. It's so, so important. I want to put that on skin. Because oud is a type of fragrance that comes alive on skin as well. That and tobacco. That's a 9 out of 10 for me. That is really interesting. It's more like I'm perplexed by it. I will say that. Not a safe blind buy. That is niche vibe. That is not sauvage. That's the only way I can say this. It's not sauvage. That's not the fragrance that you go and blind buy. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, Noir. But it's very masculine. It's very, I guess it could be unisex, but it's very confident fragrance. Encre Noir. Yep. It's the vetiver. You know how I know? Do you know how I know? Because this smells very similar now to vetiver by Guerlain. Very similar. And you know what one of my most disliked fragrances is? Vetiver by Guerlain. This is not objectively a bad fragrance. And I don't ever want my own personal opinions to come off as this is the greatest fragrance I've ever smelled. I did that the other day. And I have the bottle right here. I put all these away except for this one. Gourmand Illusions, the clone of Mirage Gourmand. Probably the greatest fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. But I could see even more people despising it. Just because it's my profile, I like it. It's the exact same thing with this guy. I know people who would love this fragrance, the vetiver and the richness. Masculine fragrance. And I am not on that list. The closest that I can say that this fragrance resembles is Guerlain's vetiver. And I give this like a 2 out of 10, but again, it is not objective. That is my subjective rating. I think it's a good fragrance. And I think that Guerlain was one of the best fragrances in the 80s. Everybody was wearing it, so I just can't stand vetiver. Cannot stand vetiver. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. The best fragrance out of this list. I mean, pretty much all of these were clones, right? The best one is probably going to be Explorer. But the WTF award is going to Bentley. I almost called him Mont Blanc. Bentley Absolute. And the most unique winner is definitely going to go to Detour Echo, which I ended up enjoying a lot more than I thought I would. And I definitely can't wait to wear it. So, anyways, I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.